Welcome back my lovelies to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber, hi, I love you and I hope you're doing great. Today I'm going to be responding to you guys' unpopular opinions from my community tab. Hope you guys enjoy and let's get into it. Number 1. People are beginning to label anything and everything as cultural appropriation now. For example, while the Pukalam in Chungha's play was problematic, people were accusing the Hispanic/Latin elements within the music video to be cultural appropriation, and that makes no sense because the song is literally Latin, which is why there were so many of those elements. If anything, it was the best example of appreciation in that aspect. She really brought out the beautiful colors of the song and culture. If adding those elements were wrong of her to do, then I expect those people to tell the rest of the world to stop making Latin bops, for the rest of the world to stop using Afrobeats, for the rest of the world to stop creating any sort of music outside of places they've originated from. Appropriation differs from appreciation, so please, for the love of God, educate yourself on what is right and wrong before accusing someone. Okay, so we're starting off the video strong with this opinion. I personally don't think that it's cultural appropriation to use elements of certain cultures in a song. Of course it has to be done in a respectful way. However, I still do not have a say on whether Chungha's song and video are problematic because I am not Hispanic. Here's the thing that bothers me. If you're not from the culture that's affected, you should not have an opinion about whether or not it's disrespectful or cultural appropriation. It's just not your place because you're not the one being affected. Number 2. There are very good vocalists in the 4th gen. I've heard so many people say that the 4th generation is just a big dance/performance contest. So I'm just gonna name some really good 4th gen vocalists off the top of my head. Y'all can pause to read LMO. I agree with this opinion, although I personally think that the 4th do be focusing more on the performances rather than vocals. I think it's completely wrong to say that they completely dismiss the vocals. But yeah, all of these vocalists that OP named are extremely talented and shouldn't be undermined just because they're from the 4th generation. Number 3. I hate moving dance practices. Dance practices aren't meant to be like performances. I want the camera to be still and see how the choreo actually looks without all the fancy camera work. It's also annoying when I'm trying to learn the dance. YG, I'm looking at you. LMO, they're doing all the fancy camera work so that the choreo looks better than usual, no tea no shade. But yeah, I agree, like if I wanted to watch a performance I would have clicked on a stage performance instead of the dance practice. But I'm not a dancer, so it personally doesn't bother me. Number 4. Dahyun's vocals are underrated. She's an amazing rapper, don't get me wrong, but she has really nice vocals too. She doesn't get to use them a lot because her only lines are usually rap lines. I'm glad that in more and more she go to use them a bit, but it was just her chanting more over and over again. Chiyoung has nice vocals as well, but no one talks about Dahyun's. As a Dahyun stan and a Dahyun vocals enthusiast, I wholeheartedly agree, lol. She's not a revolutionary vocalist, but she's definitely underrated. Number 5. Fancy was overhyped. Yes, the song was good and the MV was nice, but in my opinion Twice have done better. I also don't understand why everyone thought it was gonna win Soti. Boy with Love was so much more successful. Fancy also only got 3 wins, which is less than most of their other songs. Feel Special superior. Oof, okay, we have a lot of things to unpack here. In my opinion, Fancy was not overhyped at all, but it's not Twice's best song. I hope that makes sense, lol. I personally wanted Fancy to win Song of the Year because it just has that K-pop Soti vibe to it. I don't know how to explain it. Like, Fancy is the type of song you'd use as the opening stage for a show or the closing stage. Unlike a lot of people, I like Boy with Love and I'm still not tired of it, but I just don't think it had the same vibe to it. Fancy is fun, bubbly and pure pop. It just has that iconic vibe to it that I don't think any other K-pop songs was able to recreate in 2019. However, yes, I don't think it's their best song. Personally, I think Feel Special has the best lyrics and instrumental overall. But Dance the Night Away is my favorite Twice song. Did that even make sense, lol? Number 6. I actually like survival shows. Of course, if they are too toxic, then no, but it gets Vez recognition to the finished group. It makes you connect with the idols more, and I feel like the people who decide the lineup focus more on the members. But I might be wrong. I've never watched a Korean idol survival show, but I used to be addicted to watching Chinese ones. From what I've seen, most of them aren't too toxic and they really bring more light and recognition to trainees who would have never been able to debut with their company. It gave a lot of trainees one last chance to debut before retiring. However, survival shows are definitely rigged. Their lineup is probably pre-arranged by the producers and evil editing is a thing too. I don't know how I feel about them. There are definitely pros and cons. Number 7. I prefer NCT Dream without Mark in it, and it's also better for him cause he isn't as overworked. Honestly, yeah. I remember being absolutely devastated when Mark graduated, but now when I'm looking at it, it wasn't that much of a big deal. The Dreamies look so happy as 6 members, and I'm glad that Mark is able to rest a little bit more. And I also like the NCTU thingy where Mark can also sometimes join the Dreamies comeback. Wait, that's an unpopular opinion. People don't usually like my videos. Oh no. Number 8. I've never liked Everglow. I've tried liking them and listening to their music, but in my opinion almost all of their songs sound the same. LMOL, just reply to this opinion with this one. Some of y'all sleep on Everglow's B-sides and duality. Honestly, just go listen to their albums. I see how some people can find Adios and Dun Dun similar, but I promise the rest of their songs don't sound like that. Number 9. Trigger warning, we will be talking about Sungri and the R word. K-pop fans should stop defending Sungri for what he did. He did something illegal, but fans still try to defend him. I've heard some fans say, I wish Sungri R word me. Most Big Bang fans are adults, and I didn't think I would have to explain to adults that it's inappropriate. Okay, my comments will be flooded with girlies who think they're lawyers in 3, 2, 1. Just kidding, but not really. Can't wait to read the comments. Sungri is innocent of the crimes the media accused him of. He did not directly take part in the Burning Sun scandal, and he didn't own the club either. Therefore, I don't think he'll be punished harshly by the Korean law in any shape or form. However, listen to me y'all. Sungri is a grown-ass man with a brain. He was friends with the people involved. Even if we throw all the proof of his involvement out the window, being a pedophile and involved in human sex trafficking isn't an everyday thing. The men involved probably showed signs with people they were comfortable with, including Sungri. Sungri was their friend. If my friends made jokes about the R word or anything predatory, I would immediately drop them. He's a grown ass who can make his own decisions. Everyone who's defending him is brain dead. You guys are defending a bystander. He even admitted that he was one, so why are y'all still pretending he didn't know shit? Some arguments his stands have is that we need to stop blaming bystanders and that he wouldn't have been able to report it to the police since he wasn't a victim. Y'all really don't have a brain, because imagine you see someone R word someone in the park. If you just go home and don't tell anyone about it, maybe the victim's aggressor will be able to go free. However, if instead you called the police immediately and reported it, they could have caught him. Do you see where I'm coming from? By being a passive bystander, you're indirectly supporting the aggressor because you didn't do anything to stop it. You knew what was happening was wrong, yet you didn't do anything to help the victim. Sungri falls into this passive bystander group. If y'all didn't know, you can send anonymous tips to the police. He could have done that. Yes, we shouldn't be entirely focusing on what Sungri did, because the men who actually did the deed are way worse. However, that doesn't mean he can't be held accountable for being a bystander. Y'all keep saying he didn't do anything. That's the literal problem. He didn't do anything when he could have anonymously reported everything to the police. He might be innocent in the eyes of the Korean law, but he's definitely not innocent ethically. If I were a family member of a victim and I would bump into Sungri in the street, I would definitely not treat him respectfully. Being a passive bystander does not make you innocent. Number 10. Jizu should be main vocalist. I love my girl Jizu, but she definitely isn't main vocalist material yet. Of course, with more training anything is possible. And yes, I've seen her cover of Clarity. I literally listen to it every night before going to bed to cleanse my soul. But in my opinion, Rose just has something she lacks. I also have no singing experience LMO, so don't quote me on this. It's just my opinion. Number 11. There's nothing wrong with Kachi. I know they aren't Korean and they are calling themselves K-pop. I don't think they should be called K-pop, but that gives you no reason to spread false rumors and leave harsh comments. Criticism is different to hate, please understand that. I think I'm gonna make a separate video on my thoughts on non-Asians in K-pop. I've watched a few of them and I don't really agree with their opinions, oops, so I think it'll be interesting. Kachi definitely doesn't deserve hate or death threats. I totally get why the members would want to be in the group, because we've all wanted to become an idol at some point probably. However, their company is just using K-pop to make money, which is my problem here. Can Western countries leave K-pop alone and not profit off of them? As an Asian girl, I did not get discriminated for my entire life just so that the same people who discriminated me can profit off of something my community created. But yeah, definitely no hate to the girls. Even if people like to analyze and criticize their dancing and singing, let's be honest, y'all, they're still way better than most of us LMO. Number 12. Dahyun is the best vocalist in Twice. She has a better range than Jeongyeon and Jihyo and fits the Twice sound better than them, and she deserves her dance position as lead dancer because she is a great dancer. Interesting. Again, I have no vocal or dance knowledge, so take everything I say with a grain of salt lol. I personally think Jihyo and Jeongyeon are better vocalists than her. However, Dahyun's voice fits really well K-pop songs in general. It's strong, high-pitched and fits well with the cutesy vibe K-pop groups are usually going for. So that's why I think she has the most lines in Twice. But yeah, I'll have to disagree with that opinion, but that doesn't mean she's a flawed vocalist at all. I think she deserves all of her positions. Finally, I-dle deserves more credit, but people hate to admit it. Like 4 members literally know how to produce songs. Myeon, Mini, Yuki and Soyeon. And literally 2 members can choreograph their songs. Soyeon and Sujin. They are literally setting a new standard for girl groups. I completely agree. As a society, we don't talk enough about the masterpieces they put out. People don't fully understand how talented you must be to produce an entire song from scratch and choreograph a dance. That might be a reach, but I feel like Cube treats I-dle way better than CLC just because they don't have to write anything for them. Anyways, Cube is shit and stan CLC and I-dle loves. Alright, so that's all for today. Subscribe and follow me on Instagram if you want to. I love you and stay safe, mwah.